and other issues. Bilkeen sought progress combating coup and extremism in West Africa in talks with two key leaders as he pointed to Ivory Coast as a model. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate International Day of Education, UNICEF has commended the significant progress made in providing access to education for 7.2 million children in a humanitarian setting across Nigeria. The commendation is contained in a statement made available to newsmen in Abuja on Wednesday by Safia Akwa. Communications Officer UNICEF Nigeria Akwa quoted Christian Mundund, UNICEF Nigeria country's representatives, as being commended the collaborative effort of the government, donors and partners, calling for concerted efforts to enhance school safety in Nigeria. Mundund said that Nigeria had shown a commitment to creating safe school environments by endorsing the Safe Schools Declaration and developing the minimum standards for safe schools. She, however, said there is room for further progress while also calling for collective responsibility in safeguarding the educational environment for every child. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, witness Hama Adama Bello has told the Federal High Court Abuja how Winifred Oyoita, the immediate past head of service, used her companies to launder government's fund while in service. Bello, Chief Superintendent of EFCC and Head Special Investigation Team, told Justice James Omotosho in Abuja when testifying as the 8th prosecution witness. The PW8, while being led in evidence by the EFCC's lawyer Farouk Abdullahi, said his team received intelligence from the office of the Anti-Graft Agency chairman sometime in 2019. The witness said the team invited Oya Ita and her special assistant Ubang Efyok, having received an analysis of documents relating to intelligence. The team had an interaction with them, and in the course of the interaction, Garba Umar, who is also the 4th defendant, became a person of interest for the investigation, and he was invited. Still on the news, Nigeria has reiterated its stance on the two-state solution to the crisis between Palestinians and Israel. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tuggar said this at the end of the bilateral talks with U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Bilkeen in Abuja. He said Nigeria would, however, continue to stand on issues of common interest with developing partners in resolving the crisis in the Middle East. Responding, Bilkeen and American will continue to move towards a lasting solution to the crisis, adding that measures must be taken to have lasting peace. Bilkeen was in Nigerian and African nations tour to strengthen bilateral relations with a focus on security, the economy, and humanitarian concerns. Still on the news, officials of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, have begun profiling areas worst hit by kidnappers. The Director of Department of Development Control of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, Mukhtar Galadima, who led the team, said the exercise was to ascertain the causes of kidnapping and the solutions. At the commencement of the profiling at Sangwari Layout Estate Dutse in Boari Area Council, where kidnappers abducted some residents recently, Galadima said the officials, with the support of security personnel, will identify buildings without approval and other illegal activities in the area. According to him, the area was surrounded by structures built without the consent of development control, which are aiding criminals to operate. No fewer than 30 persons were killed in Plateau State in the early hours of Wednesday by gunmen who attacked Kwashalak Lake Village, Wangu local government area of the state. It was gathered that the victims, who were mostly women and children, had run to the house of a community leader in the area on Tuesday night for safety following an earlier unrest during the day in the Magu town when the gunmen surrounded them and killed all of them. Community leader in the area, Mark Haruna, confirmed the death toll. Haruna said what happened at Sabongeri and Magun town Tuesday afternoon was just a distraction so that the attention of the people will be shifted away from the villages. The chairman of the Development Association, Joseph Kwakwat, also confirmed the killing, describing it as callous. The immediate past governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, has arrived at the Abuja division of the Federal High Court. The FCC arraigned him on Wednesday over an alleged money laundering to the tune of 4,805,373,350 naira. When the charges were read to him upon his arraignment on Wednesday, the former governor pleaded not guilty to all 9 counts. And also in a related development, Justice Inyang Eko of the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted bail to the immediate past governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano. He ordered that the former governor should be restricted to the court jurisdiction. He ordered that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to deposit the defendant's travel documents with the court registrar. ECWA then ordered the registrar to notify the Nigerian Immigration Service of the development. The prosecution counsel Sylvanus Tahir San had prayed the court to remand the former governor. He subsequently adjourned the case till March 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th for continuation of trial. The governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has dissolved the State Executive Council. The governor also relieved all senior special assistants and special assistants of their duties. In a statement by his chief press secretary, Ebenezer Adeniyan, on Wednesday, the governor said the development will take immediate effect. All the affected officials are directed to hand over all government properties in their possession. The governor thanked the affected officials for their service and contributions to the development of the state. You're watching News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us all social media platforms using a Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Express returns, CBN will bring inflation down to 21.4% in 2024. The news continues shortly with details, and these are more stories right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcast of News Express. Thank you for staying with us. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says it has repatriated 975 stranded Nigerians from Niger Republic in 2023. The NEMA Coordinator, Kano Territorial Office, Dr. Nuruddin Abdullahi, disclosed this in Kano. Abdullahi said the returnees were brought back under the care of the International Organization for Migration, IOM, from Niamey, the Niger capital, through a voluntary repatriation program. The coordinator said that the returnee were trained on various skills and provided seed capital to be self-reliant. The program was for the distressed who had left the country to seek greener pasture in various European countries and could not afford to return when their journey became frustrated, he said. The returnee comprised 561 male, 152 female adult, and 262 children from Enugu, Kaduna, Kano, Borno, Yobe, Sokoto, and Bauchi states, Abdullahi added. And on our foreign decks, Iraq have accused the United States of contributing to a reckless escalation of violence in the region after American airstrikes targeted Iran-backed groups in the country. The pre-dawn air raid came against an already explosive regional backdrop fueled by the war in Gaza between Washington's ally Israel and the Iranian-backed Palestinian Islamic movement Hamas. Pentagon Chief Lloyd Austin said U.S. forces had carried out necessary and proportionate strikes against 3 facilities used by the Iranian-backed Kebab Tokolia militia group, another Iranian affiliation group in Iraq. U.S.-led coalition forces in Iraq and Syria have been targeted in more than 150 attacks since mid-October, many of them claimed by the Islamic Resistance in Iraq, a loose alliance of Iraq-linked groups that oppose U.S. support for Israel in Gaza conflict. Russia said Wednesday that an Il-75 military transport plane carrying 65 Ukrainian prisoners of war POWs had crashed in the western Belgorod region bordering Ukraine. Volodym, the top lawmaker in Russian lower house of parliament, said the plane had been shot down by Kyiv. He also blamed Western missiles. The crash occurred in the district northwest of the region's capital, as disclosed by the regional governors Kodak, adding that investigation team and emergency services are working on the site. Kharkov had earlier announced a missile alert over the region, but it was not clear if the 2 events were connected. And over now in China, said it will next month cut the amount banks must hold in reserve to boost lending. The decision comes as the world's second largest economy faces multiple headwinds, including a prolonged crisis in the property sector, sluggish domestic consumption, and weakening foreign demand. People's Bank of China Governor Pan Goksheng said at a press conference of the State Council Information Office on January 24th that the reserve requirement ratio, RRI, will be lowered by 0.5 percentage points on February 5th. China last cut its RRR in September, lowering it by 0.25 percentage points to around 7.4%. The central bank's governor stated that more policies to offer support for the country's slugging property sector will be announced tomorrow. Let's turn over to business now. Oil marketers under the aegis of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria have berated the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited for alleged delay in the supply of petroleum products. As a result, the marketers said they had been forced to boycott the NNPCL to source fuel from private depot owners at the higher cost. According to him, independent marketers own 80% of the filling stations in Nigeria and as such deserve the lion's share in the fuel allocation. He narrated that marketers usually pay through the NNPCL portal with the hope of getting the product in 2 to 3 days. But the 2-3 days will be turned into months if NNPCL don't have products or are out of stock. The federal government, through the Bureau of Public Enterprise, BPE, is currently carrying out transactions for the sale of 5 power plants on a national integrated power project at the cost of about $1.15 billion. Although sources familiar with the development explained that the cost of the plan should exceed $5 billion based on international benchmark, they revealed that the BPE was planning to sell the facilities at a price that is little above $1.1 billion. The acting director general, BPE, Nganus Ayewo, stated that the transaction is ongoing, adding that it is not concluded. The 5 power plants, to include the 434 megawatts gas-fired Gerag 2 power plant located in Kogi, 451 MW or Motorshot 2 plant in Ondo, and 750 MW Oloro Shogbo in 2 plants in Ogun State. Others are the 563 MW Odukpami power plant in Calabar Cross River State and 451 MW Benin Uroba plant in Edo State. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has vowed to deal with abuses and infractions in the foreign exchange forex market. CBN insisted that the Naira is currently undervalued. It noted that it was implementing measures to improve liquidity in the forex market in the short, medium, and long term. The CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso made this vow over forex in the keynote address at the Nigerian Economic Summit Group 2024 Economic Outlook Report presentation. Cardoso disclosed that measures to improve forex liquidity include ongoing collaboration with the Ministry of Finance and NNPC to ensure all forex inflow is returned to the CBN. The expected stability of the forex market in 2024 can be attributed to the expected reduction in petroleum products import and the recent implementation of the market-determined exchange rate policy by the CBN. Similarly, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Olayemi Cardoso, said that the Apex Bank is working to reduce the headline inflation rate to 21.44% this year. Cardoso gave his assurance in a keynote address at the launch of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group 2024 Economic Outlook Report. The inflation rate rose to 28.92% at the end of 2023, representing a 7.58 percentage point increase from 21.34% at the end of 2022. Cardoso, however, averted that the inflation targeting policy of the CBN, aided by improved agricultural productivity as well as expected reduction in the pump price of the petroleum products, will help reduce inflationary pressures in 2024. The anticipated moderation in pump price of petroleum motor spirit (PMS) due to the expected operation status of the country's key government and privately owned refineries in 2024 is a pivotal factor of the economic equation. And in sports, 2-time runner-up Daniel Medvedev said he was destroyed physically after grinding past big serving Herbert in a 5 tough sets Wednesday, but will be fighting fit for his Australian Open semi-final, playing his 100th Grand Slam match. He's into an 8th major semi-final, but has only gone to win only 1 title at the 2021 US Open. Medvedev made the final in Melbourne in 2021 and 2022, but succumbed to Novak Djokovic, then Rafael Nadal, Medvedev, who will play his semi-final on Friday, admitted that he was still feeling the effect of his second round 5-setter against Emil Razavori, which finished at 3:40 a.m. last week in what has been a grueling tournament. UEFA President Alexander Karifin has insisted the European governing body were right to kick Manchester City out of the Champions League for breaching financial regulations despite the club's successful appeal. England's giant City were handed a 2-year suspension in February 2022 by UEFA's club financial control body, CFCB, but the sanction was overturned at the Court of Arbitration for Sports, CAS, in July of that year. CAS found some of the alleged breaches were not established, while others were turned barred. The club's fine for failing to cooperate with CFCB investigators was reduced by CAS to 10 billion euros, 8.6 million euros. As we end the Global TV News Express, here are the highlights of our top stories that made headlines. We brought to you that Bill Keane met Tinubu, pledged $45 million security fund for Nigeria. Others include Tinubu has left Nigeria for France, court granted Obiano bail, adjourned till March 4th. Nima repatriated 975 stranded Nigerians from Niger Republic. And we also told you that the federal government was set to sell 5 power plants for $1 billion. And that's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using a Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.